Hello everyone, welcome to Magic Cat Gaming. This is the Magic Cat. I was gonna finish out the rest of the explorations. I did finish out the rest of the explorations. The recordings did not actually capture the video. So I will get back to that. I will finish those out. But it's gonna be with Kaldheim, because Kaldheim's here. And I cannot be bothered not to play Kaldheim. So here we go. We are going to play some Sealed, kind of pretend we're at a release event. We're going to go ahead and get into a game. So let's see what packs we open. What did we get? Okay, so we got some black and blue. We got a little bit of white red. We got a blue-green dual lands. So usually, while these are great cards to open in general, they kind of stink in a sealed pool just because they're very rarely a useful card. Alright, now we got a 3 mana god. This guy, Throne of Death at the beginning of your upkeep, mill card. 3 tap, exile a creature card from your graveyard to draw a card. So that's a pretty good effect on its own. Death Touch at the beginning of your upkeep, exile 2 cards from your graveyard. If you can't, sacrifice Egon and draw a card. That's a great late game finisher. Let's see what we got here. King Narfi's Betrayal. Each player mills 4 cards, then you may exile a creature or planeswalker card from each graveyard. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among cards exiled with King Narfi's Betrayal, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. So that's another great card. And it combos well with Egon because it's going to fill up our graveyard for him. And it's from each graveyard, so if we do accidentally mill our own Egon, we can still cast him. So that's really good. We've got Draugr Necromancer. If a non-token creature with an opponent, non-token creature an opponent controls would die, exile that card with an ice counter on it instead. You may cast spells from among cards and exiles your opponent owns with ice counters on them, and you may spend mana from snow sources as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. So that is another ability to cast our opponent's stuff, so kind of like that. We're going to have to see what kind of removal we have in black and blue, but there's a really strong pull. We're definitely going to play black, most likely. Rally the Ranks. Enchantment. As Rally the Ranks enters the battlefield, choose creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1. So that's pretty good. 2 mana, Honor of the Pure. That's pretty good. Showdown of the Scalds. Exile the top 4 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Whenever you cast a spell this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So that's pretty good as far as like a refresh card for Boros. I don't think it's good enough to pull us away from the black and blue stuff that we got. But let's see what we've got when we start building our deck, because we still got a lot of other cards in terms of these colors to go through. Alright. So we got 1 Snow-Covered Plains. One Snow-Covered Island. And looking at the blue. So we got the Depart the Realm bounce with Foretell. Pilfering Hawk, which with our snow permanent could let us loot. That's pretty good, and it flies, always good and limited. Rune of Flight, which is a pretty good card. At least, again, flying, giving our 6/6 Death Touch flying seems like you would close out a game pretty quick. Strategic Planning, 1 in your hand, rest in the graveyard. Works great again with our guy who needs stuff in the yard. Thought Thief enters the battlefield, look at the top card of target player's library. You may put that card in the graveyard. Again, another way to self-mill or to prevent our opponent from getting something that could be dangerous for us. Either way. Let's see. Flying Changeling, 3 mana, and can Fire Breath itself, sort of. That's not bad. Raven Form. Exile target artifact or creature its controller creates a 1/1 bird token with flying. So we've got enough flying to where that downside's not really a downside, because we'll most likely be able to block it. And of course, it exiles, so if it's an opponent's indestructible thing or, really hard to deal with big creature, yeah, we're definitely going to want to have that as a removal in our deck. Augury Raven, flying, 3/3 with Foretell. We can work with that. A potentially unblockable Yeti. We're definitely going to play that. We're definitely being pulled into blue-black. These are some really good cards. When Berg Striker enters the battlefield, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls. If snow mana was spent to cast the spell, that permanent doesn't untap. So it's a 5 mana 4/4 that sleeps an opponent's creature or artifact. That's really good. And then lastly, for blue, Frostpire Arcanist. Spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a giant or wizard. We've got a giant wizard at least. Shapeshifter is a giant and a wizard as well. What else we got? Zombie Rogue, so not a creature, so not one of those, but we got some other options there. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for an instant or sorcery card with the same name as a card in your graveyard. Reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. So this requires duplicates. I don't know that we actually have enough duplicates of any instants or sorceries to make that happen. We do have double of Strategic Planning and double of Depart the Realm. If we've got some good black removal that duplicated, we might have a chance to make that really worth something. Let's see. Dusk Wielder, reasonable kind of like little dude. We'll see. Village Rites, of course, excellent card. Dogger's Helm. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 3. If you do, you get a 2/2 token and you attach it. So that's a good card in the late game if it needs to come to that, because then you get to make a dude. It's never like a completely dead card. Equip creature has +2/+2 and menace. That's reasonable. What else we got here? Priest of the Haunted Edge. Sacrifice Priest. Target creature gets -X/-X, where X is the number of snowlands you control. Only when you could cast a sorcery. Alright, and then we've got Raise the Draugr. Return target creature card. Return 2 target creature cards that share a creature type from your graveyard to your hand. That seems reasonable. That's the god we already looked at. Grim Draugr. Gets +1/+0, gains Menace, so a little bit of a fire breathing and the Menace effect is really good. We got 2 Infernal Pets, 3 mana for a 2/2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Infernal Pet, and it gains flying. So that's pretty good, especially if we've got some way to, guarantee our extra draws or extra plays each turn. So we'll see how that goes. Poison the Cup. There's some premium removal. No problems with that. Got the Necromancer we already looked at. Jarl of the Forsaken. When Jarl of the Forsaken enters the battlefield, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. We don't have like ping effects per se, but we could theoretically chump block with something and then flash that in to finish it off with the Foretell. Like, it's very possible to use that as removal. Don't feel bad about that. Carfell Kennelmaster enters the battlefield. Up to 2 target creatures, +1/+0 and indestructible. Not bad. Dreadrider, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Target opponent loses 3 life. So if we've that could be a good finisher as well. Not bad. Now we got double snow-covered mountains. Doubled up on those. What do we have here for red? We got some good red cards. Rune of Speed looks good. Fearless Pup, of course, is fun. First Strike and Power Pumping is always a good combo. Frostbite with double snow lands. If there's a couple of good snow creatures, that might be worth playing. Lightning Bolt, of course, is a really good card. Craven Hulk can't block alone. It can attack alone. It can't block alone. Seize the Spoils. Immerstrom Raider. Enters the battlefield, discard a card, you draw a card. Okay. All that stuff. Well, I mean, red's just too thin. There's just not enough red cards to really make that work, I think. Let's see, green cards. We got Finn the Fangbearer. 2 mana Death Touch. When a creature you control Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. So if we get enough Death Touch, that could be a threat, but I don't see a whole lot of Death Touch besides the 6/6, which, frankly, the 6 damage is going to kill our opponent far faster than the 2 poison counters. So that's not really a combo per se. Masked Vandal for target for artifact and enchantment removal, which is not bad. Might be worth sighting into against certain decks. And some big stuff. Big creatures are definitely going to be a thing. So we've got the King Narfi's Betrayal, we've got the land, we've got Arxguard Armory, which we can't really make use of, but it is another interesting Boros card. I think black-blue is definitely where we want to be, and we do have Sulphurous Mine if we wanted to up our snowland count, because it's effectively a swamp that comes into play tapped, but is also a snowland. So let's see what else we've got here. So Scorn Effigy. I mean, I think that's worth playing. In that it's technically a 2 mana 2/3. What's the thing here? It has to, well, so you can't cast it on the same turn. But getting a 0 mana, so what this does is it combos really well with our cast a second spell, because it gives us a spell we can cast on a later turn, essentially for free. So that's pretty good. Let's see. 3 mana crew 4/4. That could be worth playing. Bloodline Pretender. Another creature of its own type enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter. So that could be a thing. We've got some options there as far as what we've got in black and blue. We've got zombies, obviously. There are quite a few of them in black that we have. And then in blue, we could theoretically go, since we have double Raven and a Pilfering Hawk, we could go bird, but I think that would still make sense to go zombie, since we do have the Draugr Thought Thieves as well. So, and 2 of them at that. So plenty of options for zombies. So we could go with that. Yeah. So let's start building this blue-black deck, because I think that's what we want to be into. The Gold Vein pick, I like the idea of it because treasure tokens will let us cast more things with the Draugr Lord. We're going to go with this guy. We're going to go with one of these. We are going to go with that. We're going to max out on him again, because that being able to imp is pretty good. We want the Betrayal. We are going to take the Sulphurous Mire because of the... there's a lot of reasons, but yeah, we want the Snowlands. All right, let's keep going back. All right, so let's just go ahead and throw everything in. I'm a fan of the take everything and then throw back what you're not going to play strategy. So we're playing everything in black and blue plus the other stuff, and let's see what's not good enough to make the list. So what do we absolutely know that we are not going to want to play? It's actually kind of tough. I mean, this guy's a really great wall, and then he has the potential to kill something directly. And that is pretty good. So this guy's a 2/5. We're not going to be able to get value out of him, most likely. We're going to go ahead and cut him. And maybe that's wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and make that the first cut. The Berg Strider. We've got 1 snow-covered swamp, and we've got 1 snow-covered island. Forgot that for a second there. And we got the Sulphurous Mines. So there's a reasonable chance that this could get hit with that. The Draugr Necromancer. This guy could theoretically be really devastating if we've got 1 snow land on the field, because I could use that to hit the, stuff, but we'll think about that for right now. So Foretell with Imp, the Infernal Pet, seems to be like a really good idea, because it gives me something to do with my mana. We're going to go ahead and run with that. We're going to cut the Grim Draugr. It's not particularly impactful, I don't think. We'll cut the Mistwalker. We'll cut the Pilfering Hawk. That's probably... these cards all feel so powerful, and like it's really hard to decide what we're going to cut based on that. So again, Depart the Realm with the Foretell seems like it'd be really good with the Imp. So we're going to go ahead and leave that. We'll go ahead and cut the Rune of Flight, because we've got the enchant. We've already got the... we've got the Raven Wings. So we've got a source of flying. We might have too many equipment, truthfully. So many things to cut still. We'll cut a Raise the Draugr. It doesn't do anything on its own, so it's less proactive. 6 more cuts. Potentially, let's see, actually, we might have some extra lands to cut. 1, 8, 9, 10, 17. Nope, that is the correct number of lands. Look, I don't like the idea of cutting the Dread Rider, but I gotta cut something. Well, I'll cut a Scorn Effigy. 3 seems like a little high. We'll leave 3/3 flyers can win the game on their own, especially if you can clear the way. We'll cut the Village Rights. Trust my other card advantage to be good enough on its own. We'll cut the Jarl. Still tough. Cutting the strategic planning seems like it might be wrong, but at the same time, I guess I gotta cut the Gold Vein pick. It's a little too cute for what we're trying to do. 2 more cuts could just be the strategic planning. This can protect my own stuff. So, yeah, we're going to cut the strategic plannings. All right. We've got a reasonable deck. So let's give it a shot. Well, that is not great. All right, we got both our colors this time, and we theoretically have our, combo here. We can play this and then play that, and this guy gets a counter, and, life is good. So we'll keep this one, and we will throw back the... I guess we could throw back the Depart the Realm. It's not... I don't like the idea. We'll throw back the Bergstrider, and the reason we're going to throw that back is because the Depart the Realm is actually what we have the ability to, do stuff with on the first turn. Well, not the first turn, but, on turn 2 we can foretell the Depart the Realm, or we can utilize the spell if we need to, but the Bergstrider is many turns off, and it doesn't actually... It's a good card. I mean, ideally we wouldn't have to get rid of it, but we're just going to give it our best shot without it. Okay, so let's go ahead and play the Swamp. Another island. We'll go ahead and play that, and we're going to go ahead and foretell. And now we've got a 1-mana Depart the Realm, all nice and powered up for us here. That is a card. So what do we want to do? Do we want to let it hit and then he gets to scry? and potentially get that guy back. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get cute. We're gonna foretell it because we want the scry, and we're gonna have the Depart the Realm, and we're gonna bounce it when he attacks with it. Alright, and he foretold something. So let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to throw down our Bloodline Pretender, naming Zombie. That's convenient. Audrey Raven. Okay. So let's go ahead and play our land. We'll go ahead and throw down with Mr. Thought Thief. Myself or him? Let's go with him. Yeah, that goes to the graveyard. We don't want you to draw that. And we want to leave the Bloodline Pretender available. So do we kill it now? Let's go ahead and get the damage in and get a scry. Raven Wings. Oh, we definitely want that, don't we? Let's go ahead and put that on top. We'll put the wings on the bottom. He's got a lot of flyers, it looks like. So let's go ahead and we'll actually leave that on top. And let's get in for some damage. He's got a 5/5. F1-2 flying for a strike. Okay. So like I said, he's got a lot of flyers. Alright. Now, do we want to play the Yeti with the knowledge that I cannot yet make him unblockable? I think we throw down the Draugr, because that lets me pump up the Bloodline Pretender. No attacks. Being able to cast his Alrund would be amazing. Yep, and he's got the snow mana. That's a clock. That is a clock. All right. So let's go ahead and get that Raven Wing down. And let's equip it. Now, do I attack? I mean, I'm going to have to race this guy at some point. Let's do it. So if I top deck a Snow Source, I get to cast his Battlefield Raptor, which is fun. Now that card advantage from the Alrund is going to be a big deal here. Okay. That could give me some advantage here. So yeah, what we're going to go ahead and do is do that, and we are going to go ahead and cast that. No attacks. Now we'll take that on the chin. Not ideal, but I don't see any other way around it. Get the Yeti down? I think that's right. Just play some D. Hope that I top deck a Snow Source. Oh, I milled my source. Oh, that's painful. Alright, well, let's see. We're going to go ahead and just cast the Raven. And we're going to get in for 4 of our own. Oop, no, we do not want to attack with you. So now we can block the big guy with the Yeti if he doesn't have anything, although he might absolutely have something. But we've got almost lethal. Top deck a source and we got lethal. Otherwise, we're out of this game. Oh, he's got a blocker. That might be it for us sports fans. The card advantage he's getting from Alrund is just amazing amounts of advantage. Oh, and it milled the Raven form. I needed to draw that. Well, let's see. What does that do? Let's go ahead. Activate the throne. Not good enough. Need 6 mana to actually play and equip it. Let's see. I could move that there. Swings, blocks, play a raptor. Nope, there's no way around it. He's got us. Play his raptors just for the lulz. Alright, let's get one more game in. Hopefully we do better next time. I think I played my remove a little too aggressively. Should have saved it for the god since I knew it was in his hand. But I just wanted to cast it. So much fun. Let's see how we do this time. Play a little more seriously. Serious face. Serious up. Here we go. Well, we got all our stuff here. Not great. Not awful. Got a turn 2, got a turn 3. Hopefully I draw into some good stuff. That's a Yeti. Here's a turn 4 play, so we now got a turn 4 and a turn 5 if I draw another land. Ooh, there we go. That's a thing. Do we want to play it right away, though? Maybe. Two mana, 2/2 for a strike. That's quite a rare. Reduce the boast costs for each dragon you control, and then he makes a 5/5 dragon for 5 mana. And so he makes, so it's like a snowball effect there. Alright, we're going to play the Effigy to have a blocker, and the Betrayal as our actual like proactive play on the turn. And then we'll spend the next 2 turns casting things with the Betrayal, most likely. Alright, well that's a thing. Okay, so let's lead with the Narfi's Betrayal. Well, that's ugly. Let's gamble that I'm gonna get the mana I need to actually cast that. And let's play my Effigy. Now if he wants to attack, he can't just play a land, get in his boast, and do that like without losing his creature. Although that is definitely a reasonable play in the sense that it would, you know, get him a 5/5. And he doesn't know that I have the Depart the Realm in hand. Otherwise, you know, I would say that's actually like a really good play for him. But it's not going to work out well for him if he does do that. What did I mill anyways? The Raven form? Of course. My best piece of removal got milled. That's how it works. He did Demon Bolt. That is unfortunate. Alright, I got a Yeti. Did not draw what I was looking to draw. That's unfortunate. Alright, we're going to leave the Depart the Realm up. Basically to hit the token. If he tries to make a token, there's every possibility that he will at this point. We cannot let a 5/5 token hang around. Depart the Realm is a removal spell for that token, so you know that's at least something. One more land, in particular a swamp, gives us the extra thing for that. Oh well then. Opponents can't gain life at the beginning of your upkeep. Deals 2 damage to your opponent. Triggers only if it's on the battlefield or in your graveyard and control a giant. Okay. So he is playing a creature that I don't want to have to deal with. So let's time lock him. You spent 2 turns setting that up. I turned it off. All right. This isn't great. Not great at all. What am I gonna do? All right, this time I am going to go ahead and play this, and we're gonna go ahead and foretell again. Demon bolted my creature. That means he's not casting his creature unless he's got another red source. 3/2 haste. Unfortunate. Now if I don't top deck a land, I'm basically out of this game, so let's hope I get something. Oh, that's perfect. A little late, but better than nothing. So let's go ahead and play. Do I want to play the Giant Wizard or do I want to play that? I could play the Pretender. The Pretender doesn't do anything for me this turn, but if I don't die, which honestly, tall order at this point, I would have some. I could use Depart the Realm to keep myself in the game, and then I would be able to get some benefit out of Karfell Kennel Master. But I think if I don't play a blocker, I'm just dead. So let's just throw down a Giant Wizard. It's not going to really matter. So just tap a thing down. It's not going to stay tapped because we don't have a snow permanent, which is very sad. I could see him just casting his creature and then moving on with his day. That's not a terrible line of play. got some boast options there. Oh, okay, we're starting to get some things here. All right. So what are we gonna do? I could Draugr's Helm to get a 6/6. I think Bloodline Pretender is the play. Naming zombie yet again. We're gonna do this now because we do not want him being able to do stuff with that. I'm not gonna attack. And on my next turn, the Kennel Master gets to come down. I'll have another 4/4 blocker, and I'll have a 3/3 Pretender instead. He had the Poison the Cup, which he's just going to hard cast, and I don't blame him, honestly. That seems pretty reasonable. He gets to attack with at least the first striker. Like, honestly, there's no reason he shouldn't just attack out. I block the Berserker, frankly, unless he doesn't attack out. He doesn't have the mana for the Boast. I'm going to go to 3 here. He's going to cast... He's probably going to... he's either going to make a token. That's fine. I got to stop the damage. I'm either going to get something useful or I'm not. I did not get anything useful. I'll just cast that and concede. Been a rough game. All right. So I think that does it. I think that's 2 losses, or is it 3 losses to be out for these events? Yeah, 3 losses to be out. All right, but that's a 40-minute video. We're gonna go ahead and call it here. Thanks for joining me today. We'll definitely play some more Kaldheim, and hopefully I'll have a better luck of it next time. Maybe I'll get some better cards. Maybe I'll play better. We'll see what's going on. It's brand new. A lot of time to learn. A lot of time to grow. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day.